Good afternoon. It's partly cloudy and 16 degrees in Kelowna around 4:30 p.m. I'm Josh Duncan, and this is what the Kelowna Now newsroom is following today. A woman was hospitalized after getting hit by a truck while in a marked crosswalk downtown last night. It happened at the intersection of Richter and Bernard around 6:40 p.m., and it was all caught on another vehicle's dash cam. The video shows the woman crossing Richter on the south side of the intersection before she's struck by the truck, turning left onto Richter from Bernard. The person who posted the video said the woman was conscious after the collision and the driver stopped. Police told Kelowna Now the woman was sent to KGH with non-life-threatening injuries, and the man was ticketed for failing to yield to a pedestrian. The Kelowna RCMP says a suspicious package sent to a Rutland resident from outside of Canada prompted a Hazmat response on Tuesday. The resident called police about the package around 1:30 p.m. and turned it over to officers when they arrived at the scene. After significant consultation, a decision was made to treat the package as hazardous, and both the resident and first arriving officers were quarantined while a more in-depth analysis was completed. The hazmat suits were put on, the package was investigated, and it was eventually determined it was safe. Police did seize the package for further investigation. Parks Canada is extending the closure of all bodies of water in the Kootenay and Yoho National Parks for another 12 months at least. It's part of the efforts to slow the spread of invasive species following the discovery of the deadly whirling disease parasite in fish. As a result, all lakes, creeks, and tributaries in these parks will be closed until at least March 2025. Jeanette Goulet with the Aquatic Invasive Species Program for Mountain National Park says the extension gives park officials time to gather more information before deciding their next steps. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre has threatened to submit a motion of non-confidence in Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's minority government. The opposition leader said he would trigger a carbon tax election, as he called it, if the Prime Minister refused to block the April 1st increase to the levy. If that doesn't happen today, Poilievre promised a non-confidence motion, although that's unlikely to succeed given the NDP's commitment to prop up the government until the election in October 2025. The federal carbon tax is set to increase by 23% on April 1st, but Poilievre has promised to axe the tax entirely if the Conservatives win a majority government in the next election. The Bank of Canada says it expects to be able to start cutting interest rates this year, but officials appear to be split on the timing. The central bank's summary of deliberations says there was diversity of views among governing council members about when there would be enough evidence to decrease interest rates. Governor Tiff Macklem has said the Bank of Canada doesn't want to move too quickly, only to have to reverse course at a later date. Earlier this month, the bank opted to continue holding its interest rate at 5%, and it brushed off questions about the timing of rate cuts. And in sports, the UBCO Heat women's golf team left Vancouver Island with some hardware this week. Emily Cornwall and Julia Alexander-Carew claimed the top two individual spots at the Vikes Spring Shootout, which took place Monday and Tuesday at Cordova Bay Golf Club. Cornwall shot a 1/72 on Monday, followed that up with a 77 on Tuesday to win by one shot over teammate Alexander Carew, who started the tournament with a 77 and followed it up with a 73 in round two. Their podium-topping performances were more than enough to lead the Heat to an 18-shot victory in the team competition, well ahead of the host Vikes in second place. You can read more about those stories and plenty others over at KelownaNow.com. Thanks as always for tuning in this afternoon, and have yourself a great evening.